Welcome back to Daily Connections. We are hanging out in the kitchen with our zoo, and we are making a roasted red pepper and walnut appetizer, and it is called
Muhammara.
Muhammara. All right, so how do we get started?
Okay, before we get started, we're going to serve it with the pita chips, which we're going to bake it. Why don't you go ahead and brush them with some olive oil?
So you've just cut some of them up here, and then you've got some, I guess, that were
round.
That you can store by them that
exactly.
That size. All right, we're putting some olive oil on them. Yeah, now see, I don't have a pastry brush at home, so I use the good old paper towel.
That's fine. All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to demonstrate the roasted red bell pepper spread.
Okay.
It's roasted peppers. It's usually, I prefer homemade, but if you don't have the homemade one, you can use jar one.
Okay.
So it's like 2 whole red bell pepper. I'm putting in the food processor.
Okay.
And then I'm adding 3 cloves of garlic.
Yum.
And then 1 cup of walnut. And 1 cup of fresh breadcrumb.
Okay, and
which I cut the crust from sandwich breads.
Okay, and then let it dry, or do you put it in the oven to dry?
No, I just crumble them in the food processor ahead. I usually keep them in a refrigerator, so I can use it as much as I want. Yep. So then I'm going to run them first.
So we've got the garlic, we've got the red peppers, we've got the walnuts, we've got the breadcrumbs.
Exactly.
And
that's
now
it.
we're going to
run
it
them
up in our food processor. Now, if I don't have a food processor, I could probably chop things really finely and mix it together, or even, would it work in a blender or something like that? I'm always thinking of kitchen
I'm sorry,
options.
I didn't hear you well, but yes, exactly. So I'll keep adding the chopped tomatoes, 1 cup of chopped tomatoes. Usually I prefer fresh one, but if you don't have it, you can easily buy the one in can, whatever is your preference.
Okay.
And then I'll use 1/3 cup of olive oil.
Okay.
I usually prefer extra virgin olive oil.
Now, I have these all olive oiled. Are they ready to go into the oven?
Yes, but before you go put them in the oven, I prefer to put sesame seeds, which we use a lot in Turkey, or else...
And that's your background.
Oh, yes,
Turkish.
exactly. Yeah, right.
Oh, yum. All right.
And if you don't have sesame seeds, you may go ahead and do with caraway seeds or nigella seeds, or whatever is your preference.
Yum. All right. So then I'm going to put them in the oven for about how long?
15 minutes. It's a preheated oven for 15 minutes until they get crisp.
Okay, and preheated at what temperature?
350.
350.
degrees.
Okay.
Yep.
I will
it's
put
already,
that in there then.
And I'll add 3 tablespoons of spicy pepper sauce. And I'm just going to run it again.
Oh, now you said you added something. You added the spicy peppers?
Yes, yes.
Did that come out of here?
Uh-huh.
I've been wanting to try that.
Sure.
It does. It has like a little bit of
kick,
of a bite, of a fire to it. Oh, nice. So can I find that in the grocery store?
This is what I buy from Turkish store,
stores?
but if you go any Middle Eastern stores, you may buy it, or you may easily add your tomato sauce, 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
Okay.
So it depends on how spicy you like.
So if we don't have something like that, we can add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper into the tomato sauce. Mix
And
that
you
around
can
and
run
add
it.
that in.
Exactly.
All right. So we've got the tomato added, and you added the spicy red pepper, right?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So
Great.
we'll run one more time.
Spin it up. Now this is so healthy. I mean, we had the little bit of olive oil, and besides that, we've got all the vegetables. We've got those great, the protein from the walnuts and everything like that.
Very healthy, delicious, and it keeps well in the refrigerator 3 to 4 days.
Oh.
And
you mentioned earlier, because I was bugging her about this earlier when we were talking about it, she said that if you have leftovers, it's great to spread on some bread with a sandwich, put a little chicken on there or something like that. So that's really neat, having that kind of flexibility.
Definitely. It's absolutely
And really,
wonderful.
I know fresh is best, but if we were in a pinch, every single one of these ingredients could have come out, we could have had in our pantry.
Definitely,
right?
yeah. Right,
From the walnuts, and then we could have the roasted red peppers, the tomato, and fresh is best. I mean, you get those, the antioxidants and everything like that, but still, in the jar, I mean, it can be quite tasty, especially in a pinch.
Definitely. But if you like to substitute nuts to pine nuts or hazelnuts, that perfectly works well.
Okay.
And I decorate with walnuts. So this way, some people are allergic to nuts. So, I mean,
Right.
if you are allergic to nuts, you may omit the
The nuts all together, and then have two dishes, one with the walnuts and one without walnuts.
And then finally, I'm going to chop some parsley over.
Excellent. Now, is this a popular dish in Turkey?
It's very popular.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And always served as an appetizer?
Yes, yes. Meze, we call it meze.
Meze, what's that
means appetizers in Persian. So it gathers with small part of appetizers together, like tapa type.
Oh,
so
really?
It can be a whole meal.
Now,
most
you
of
were
the time.
talking to me about eating in Turkey, and you were talking to me about being at your family's house and having that huge grand table. Talk to me about that. Would you serve something like that, or would your mother or your grandmother?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, right.
And starting out
absolutely,
the whole
yeah.
family eating it together. And so what do we have here, too?
So these are already, you remember what you
The
made?
yes.
The,
Not bagels,
with the
pita
pides?
chips.
Pides, yeah. Pide, what we call it in Turkish.
Oh, yum.
From
Right.
very flat bread with
Give
sesame
it a try
seeds.
here. Yum.
How is the spice?
Excellent. Very flavorful, but mild. The pita chips are very crispy. The sesame is good, and there's this fresh taste to it.